All right, you guys are doing great. Remember to take a break if you need to. We are on to exponential equations. So for an exponential equation, they're going to ask you to graph it again. Again, use your calculator. So here's my graph. I printed it for you guys in the notes. So if you forgot, when you find the E buttons, so let me reset, second trace 7, 1, 2. Okay, second plus 7, 1, 2, excuse me. You're going to go to y equals. To find the E, guys, it's in two different places. If you look for ln, which is right by your 4, okay, over here on the left, it's in blue, and it's above the divide sign in blue. And it's a special number, like pi. But what it connects to, just to give you a little real life so you know where it comes from, is how living things either decay or grow. So how a bacteria grows and multiplies, which is gross, or how a radioactive material in an environmental setting would decay, or even a human body, okay? So I get my E to come up, I get into the exponent, I type in my x minus 1, and then plus 4. Again, they asked me to graph it. So I get my graph, I sketch it as neatly as I can, and I'm good to go on that part. Then it asks me some questions, and they should seem familiar. What are the x and y intercepts? What's my domain? What's my range? And is there an asymptote? So, first things first, you can do this by hand, or you can use your calculator, but I can see plain as day, there is no x-intercept. This graph is vertically shifted up. This curve will not touch the x-axis. So the x-intercept is a no. I don't have to try and solve for it. I can tell. It's no. The y-intercept, I can trace to it pretty easily. It's going to be a decimal. Just got purple on me. Okay. So I'm going to hit trace and move to where the x is equal to 0. Okay. So x is going to be 0. Y is going to be 4.368. All right. Got that. And now they talk about domain. So domain and range. Remember, domain is x, range is y. The questions are pretty much the same the whole time. Does the graph go off to the left? Does the graph go off to the right? Yes. It goes on forever. Is it all connected in the middle? Yes. So my domain is all reals. Range is the y-axis, and this is where it gets tricky. It goes up forever, but it does not go down forever. It flattens out here on the left and does not go any lower than, and you can kind of count it or you can trace over, but it's going to be 4. Since I don't go any lower than 4, I am in the real numbers, but I must be from 4 up, and I need to communicate that to the math professors that are going to be looking at this. So I'm going to do y greater than means above, and then the number on the y-axis that it goes with, and it flattens out at 4. You can kind of tell that from the equation. There's a 4 in the equation, but if not, you could just trace on the calculator. I'm almost done. I'm doing good. All right, is there an asymptote? Yes, no, maybe so. Definitely a horizontal one. It's tempting to think that there's a vertical one, guys. But if you go to your table, you can know for sure which one is and which one is not true. So when you go to your table, you want to look to see if the x or the y values end up getting super close to something, okay? There's no error messages. They just keep getting higher and higher. Like, I'm at 13 for x, and I'm up to 162,759. So clearly, this just goes up, up, and away. X is 13. I can go and scroll forever, and it'll just keep getting bigger. It even goes into scientific notation. Now, for the negatives, for the x values, I notice something very different. I keep getting 4 point blah, 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 4 point blah, 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 4 point blah, blah, blah. And it's actually getting closer and closer to 4 even. By -9, it just says 4 the whole time, from -9 to anything above that negatively. So -13 is still 4, -20 is still 4, they're all 4. So that gives me the fact that I do have an asymptote at y equals 4, which is horizontal, but I do not have a vertical.